everybody. It is almost 7 o'clock on Sunday evening. It is time to get started with Craftin' with Carm. I hope everybody had a great Easter and you all had time with your family or friends via in person or Zoom or outside or however you've done it this year. I am waiting for me to go live here on my notifications. Oh, no, maybe. There we go. So, is everyone enjoying their evening? It is still beautiful out. And tonight, I've got a sneak peek for you and a couple things to share with you. So it is just 1 minute until 7. We'll sit here for just a second and let you know that the new catalog came out from me. I got it in the mail, and I can show you just the cover and products from it. I also want to share with you that the Oval Punch and the Ice Cream Punch are back in stock. I heard that today. And the mini catalog is still going strong. You can still order some of the butterfly products and the chick products. And it is getting ready to go, so I'm going to transfer you to my hands here, and we'll get this party started. So here is the cover of the new annual catalog. As you note, it's going to go a little bit different. So we're starting in May, and we're going to go to April this year, the end of April. So, and that's how they are going to do that. I can show you the cover, and I guess I can show you the back cover. There's an interesting story about this. I can't wait till I can tell you about that. So this is a set that's going to be in the new book called Etched in Nature. I got it when I registered for an event. That event is going to be Thursday night, and on that event I am supposed to make one card with this set and bring it and share it. So if you've got any ideas for me, I have a couple ideas rolling around, but if you've got any ideas for me, drop them in the comments. I'm anxious to see what you think of this set. So again, this is in the new book called Etched in Nature. It's a red rubber one. Okay, so what we're going to talk about tonight. I probably have to apologize to my priest, but I came up with this idea. I thought about this idea. Now this is an old one, but craft white ink. I thought, what better day to talk about white things than Easter, because everything was all white today. We had Easter dresses and Easter lilies, and everything was white. Now the inspiration for this came from a card I got in the mail this week from a friend, and this is white embossing powder, and you could put the white craft ink down and do the white embossing, and I love what it looks like on the blue. And that is one thing that most people know that you can do with craft ink is emboss, because it stays dry for a while. But I want to show you some other things you can do with white craft ink. So thank you for the person that sent me this card, and we're going to move on. So white craft ink, it's very sticky, and it's craft. That means you either have to heat set it, let it dry for a while, or emboss over it. So you can see I got my Stamp-A-Majig here, and one thing I want to do is I'm going to ink this up, and my pad's probably a little dry, but I'm going to ink this up, and I'm going to stamp it on the black, and it makes it look like the chalkboard thing. Now, as this dries, it's going to get a little bit lighter. And you can see I did this one this afternoon. This get well soon. So I'm going to let that dry for a hot second. It's probably not close to dry, but I can put another, because I'm on my Stamp-A-Majig, I can keep layering that ink. And if I want to dry it in between, all I need to do is take my heat tool. Now this is going to make some noise here, so just I can heat this and let it dry a minute. And then I can come back with more ink and keep. So you see how that's going to get just a little bit darker, and I could keep going and make it, you know, or I could emboss it, but I don't want the shininess of it. I just want it to be a really good thing. So that will dry a little bit, but you can see the difference in it. This one's a little bit more grayer, and that one's got a little bit more. So we'll see at the end of our session tonight how that is, how much that dries. So then something else you can do with this is you can make a great background. So I've got, I think I grabbed Petal Pink. Now this background is the camouflage background. And I bought it last year, hadn't even opened it up, but we're not going to tell my husband that. And I'm going to keep this one, even though this is something that's retiring. So if you do think you need this one, you better grab it. There's another one coming that's not camouflage, but another background that everybody might enjoy. So I'm going to ink this one up with my ink pad. And you can kind of see, and you could see on the box there was shades of gray. So, but now I've got shades of white. It's not inking in those spots. It's just not supposed to be that dark. So I've got this here, and if you don't have one of these big blocks, this is where that, I called it a Stamp-A-Majig a minute ago. The Stamparatus works. So I like to do my backgrounds like this. I'm going to just lay my cardstock down and take an old block. You can see it's well used, and I'm just going to rub it around like so. And then I'm going to lift it off. So you get this textured effect. Oh, it shows up better than I thought it would. So you get this really nice background that you could use for a card. Now this is really wet. I'm going to set it aside. But I did one earlier today, so this one's dry. But isn't this a great, just subtle background that you could use? And I can take my Get Well, and I could layer it right there, put it on another piece of black, and I could add an embellishment on that or some ribbon behind it, but that would make a complete card. I just love the subtlety of the background on that with the white. You can really pick it up there in the thing. So something else you can do with it is if you want, like I could stamp some bigger words on this, but you could drag the white ink pad kind of across your black cardstock and make it look like a whole chalkboard. So I like that effect. I did that one earlier. So then I could put words here and it would look like a chalkboard kind of effect. Okay, so that's one thing, another thing you can do with it. And then the last thing that I wanted to show you tonight is you can stamp with it on colored cardstock, and then, because if I were to put yellow on here, yellow and blue make green, so my pineapple could turn a little bit green. But if I stamp this on here, oh, I forgot to tell you this, Get Well Soon, that's from Mini Mates, and it's going away also, I do believe. And this little pineapple was from the beginner brochure. It wasn't in the main catalog, but it was in the beginner brochure, and it's Cute Fruit. I might have to keep this one because I just adore this set. But this one's retiring too. How fun would it be to make watermelon cards for the summer? You drive me bananas, or I go bananas over you. Maybe you drive me bananas might not be a cool thing to put on there. But so I've got the pineapple down here, and then I'm going to put the, I don't know, stem, top of the pineapple here. Now, I do want to heat set this a minute, so I'm going to bring in my heat tool again. We used to have chalk, and the chalk would stick to this also, but you can also do this technique. So I want it kind of dry, but then I'm going to take a sponge dauber, and don't worry, those are staying. I'm going to take my sponge dauber, and I've picked up a little bit of ink here, and this is Mango Melody. I know it's mango and we've got a pineapple, but work with me here. We don't have pineapple punch anymore. So then I can just go in and, because it's white in the background, this is going to stand out more. So I'm coloring my pineapple. Now I am getting the blue that's back there. I'm turning it Mango Melody too, but this highlights my pineapple. And I could stamp with different colors or shades. I don't want to get outside the lines because it's not only going to just stick. And if I had embossing, I could put this, you could do like emboss and resist too with this technique. And this would work great with like a flower stamp where you could just kind of, and then have it hazy on the outside, but I kind of didn't want anything else on my pineapple. So there's the base of my pineapple. It looks better in person than it does on camera. There we go. And then I wanted my green leaves. Now the sponge dauber was a little too fat, so I have a little makeup applicator. You can pick these up anywhere, maybe even a Dollar Tree, I'm not sure. But I've got some Granny Apple. I want to go just on top of my white. And it kind of gives it a different look. Ooh, I kind of got out of the lines on that one. But because you're doing it over the white and not the blue, it stands out a little bit more. Because I don't know, I can clean it and show you what Granny Apple. So, well, I kind of got out of the lines, but you get the idea. I kind of did my lines for my pineapple. And because the white's there, it kind of gives it a little shadow. That's the other thing you can do with the white ink pad. If I were to, well, here, let's do a couple things here. I need this thanks. So if I were to, I'm ad-libbing here, I didn't practice this. I can stamp my thanks in the white, and I'd want to heat set this just a tad. So I'm going to turn on my gun again here. Now this would probably work better if I used the Stamparatus, but I'm not going to do that, or had clear photopolymer stamps, because the other thing you can do with this white is make a shadow. So I've got the thanks on there, and then I'm going to go in the green here, and I just want to offset it. And since I can't see what I'm stamping, we're going to guess here. Ah, yeah, see? You can see the white under the thanks. So it's a shadow, so it gives you more depth for your letter. Oh, there you go. You can see that really well. Man, I did a pretty decent job doing that with freehanding. So that white ink pad's great for this shadow lettering kind of thing, or with a flower or anything else that you would do. You just need to make sure that you do the white first and then the color. So you can see, let's see if I can clean the pineapple. Clean that guy off. And do I have another side? I don't have any more paper. But I'll show you the difference. Oh, no, well, that's not a very good stamp. But that's the yellow on the blue, but this is the yellow on the white. So you can definitely see you get a better coverage with that. So that's just some tips and tricks. Let me switch back here. That's just some tips and tricks with the white ink pad. I'm sure there are a whole bunch more out there, but I like to keep these short and sweet. I hope you learned something tonight. And in review, the 3 stamps that I will use tonight, the Mini Mates and the Camouflage and the Cute Fruit are all, oh, you can't see that, I'm going to switch my hands back. The Cute Fruit, the Camouflage, and the Mini Mates are all on the chopping block, so you only have April to get those. So thank you for watching. Oh, I was going to show you the Get Well Soon. So here's the one we double stamped, and here's the one that was only 1 stamp. So you can definitely see the difference in those. Oh, no, you can't because I switched my hands. Here, back. Double stamp this one, single stamp this one. Now this one's not quite dry yet, so it's not quite fair, but you can definitely see the difference in those. So again, I hope you had a great Easter, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Keep stamping, and this is Carmen with Crafting with Carm. Have a good evening.